Hey everyone, so thought I would test this. I'm currently driving to go get breakfast, and it's about a 10-minute drive, so I thought, I don't know, just talk to myself on the way there instead of just think inside my head. um, but yeah, welcome to another day, Monday thoughts, Monday inside of my head. Um, I have been thinking about something um, along the lines of purpose. Because currently, so one of the things I do, how I really make money at the moment, is I'm a freelance videographer and editor, and often I'm just at home by myself, editing, and it's cool because you got your own time and stuff. But as well, like I feel that sometimes I just miss out on being in an environment of people. Um, I just want to be, I don't want to necessarily have to talk to anyone. I just want to be in a place where things are happening. And sometimes when you work for weeks on just by yourself in your own little office, it gets a bit, I don't know, I'm a people's person, I guess. I just like to be around a vibe. Um, it motivates me. I think also being in the creative space, it kind of helps sometimes just being in a nice environment, just something different, see one or two people, some style or whatever, it inspires you. So often I will just take a drive and go sit in that sort of environment, normally journal and just clear my thoughts, but also just take stock of things that are inspiring me, and then go back home and get an edit and use them. But typically I would just take a laptop with, but mine broke recently, so I've only got a station back at home. So yeah, it's not like I can go work somewhere else. So anyway, that's why I'm driving. But at the same time, I think lately I've been feeling a little bit like I've been challenged with purpose, because all my life, especially like if you've followed any of the journeys, you'd know I've been in a church environment, and there was always a clear purpose, a clear direction. You always had a goal to get to, or like even beyond like physical, like, hey, we need to complete this work by the end of the day or whatever. The overarching goal is like, bringing heaven to earth, or like getting people saved. So you always had this thing, or like wherever I am, need to be the salt and the light. And so you always have this like purpose about you wherever you go, which is weird because I feel like since I've stepped out, like I've really been lacking that. Like I miss that. Being a part of a group of people who are moving towards something together, again, beyond your daily work. And I still believe in that. It's just, not having that makes me feel a little bit confused and lost. But at the same time, sometimes that isn't actually all it is made out to be. Like you feel like you're a part of it and you're doing something, but when I just look at my own life, it's like, firstly, a lot of that I had to pretend to be into stuff or be someone I wasn't. So you're pretending a lot, but then also, again, that thing of like, because I think it's so busy and there's always the next thing to get to, or there's always there's this false sense of purpose in a way, where you feel like you're doing something or you're along with people, but if you actually look at it, and I just saw like in my years, and I saw this like across different churches, but like in my latest one, I was there for 7 years I think, and I left, and when I came back to visit and stuff, everything was like exactly the same. The people were the same, the issues, because I was leading worship, and which is great and I loved that, but most of what I was doing, this is also why I had to just step away for a bit, most of what I found myself doing was just managing people. The worship became very secondary, and it's like I was just like, what am I doing here? But like coming back, the same issues that I had to deal with, the same people, this is like a year or two later, it's the same stuff. And so it's like you feel like, okay, we had this purpose and we're doing it, but I look over 5 years and not much has changed. Like we haven't really gone forward in any of it. We haven't really progressed. And we also, it's just like, but you were so sold on that and you felt like you're doing something. And when you're in it, it feels like, because it's always the next meeting or the next talk or there's next things happening. But then when you zoom out and you step back and you come back and you actually look, and I don't want to be too critical because I know like there's probably a lot that did happen in that time, but just overall speaking, and for me who like gave my entire life for that, and you look back and you realize like, well, things are pretty much the same. All that happened was I left, they replaced me with someone else, and they just keep doing their things, but like there's been no real change or advancement in any way. And so obviously for someone whose purpose was like tied into that, stepping out of that, I'm like a bit lost, you know. But at the same time, I'm quite aware that I don't know if that was ever my purpose, you know, and I don't even know what purpose looks like nowadays. And I've really been challenged by, obviously now listening to a lot of different voices, but Paul Young is someone I listen to regularly, and I've been challenged about, if you've heard him, you would know, about his whole concept and view of purpose and what he calls future tripping. And basically what he's saying is like, at the end of the day, your purpose, if you will, but it's just to be fully present in what you're doing right now. And from that, you trust, what he would call trust the ripples. So if you just, whatever you're doing right now, you give yourself fully to, you know, and obviously we're called to love. So it's like, if you're loving in your moment, whatever you're doing, if it's with someone, if it's not, but like you're doing it in that posture and you're fully present, and you just do the next thing that's in front of you and the next thing and the next thing, and you trust those ripples. You know, like when you throw a stone into a body of water and the ripples just go, they start off small but they just expand. That's kind of the concept of like, just do the thing in front of you and be fully present in it. And that's actually all you're required to do in that moment. And it kind of makes you think, you know, like, don't worry about tomorrow, because tomorrow has enough worries for itself. And like, it makes you think of scriptures where like the Lord will provide what you need in the moment, you know. And it's sort of like letting go of this overarching purpose, like the end goal. And it's kind of like believing in the finished work, like Jesus came and he finished it. It is finished, you know. All the work that we have to do, like, you know, often in the church, it's like you're soldiering on, you've got to, like, we're at war, we've got to win this thing, there's a battle, and kind of looking at the finished work of the cross and being like, okay, well, and I'm not saying like right or wrong, I'm just saying, if you think like this for a moment, what if Jesus did finish it? Okay, so he conquered death, he conquered everything, and he actually was enough, and he did finish it all. And instead of us having to try war to win something back that's lost, it's actually just about living fully from that victory place already, whatever that looks like. Well, then it does change your purpose a bit. Then it's like, you know, you're free to sort of kind of do whatever, because you don't have to go and win anything. And I think like thinking along those lines was very challenging for me, because then when you do live like that, you know, it's like, I'm trying to, while I'm speaking, I'm thinking to myself of like an analogy to sort of describe it, but it's sort of like, it's a bit silly, I guess, but like, let's say you're going out to eat, and it's like, for us, end of the month, it's pretty tight, there's not a lot of money, so you're going out, but you're paying for it, so you're like kind of looking at the menu like, hey, what can I afford here, what can't I, like, let me not go too big. The way you order then versus like, let's say you're going out and I'm going with my parents, and they're like, hey, we're going to pay for it, like, and they let me know this before, hey, no stress, we got enough cash, like, we got enough money, just whatever you want to order, just go for it, like, we just want you to know that before you come, like, this is on us. The way my mindset is when I go to order, when I have to pay for it, not having much, versus when it's already paid for, is quite different. You know, I'm probably getting that steak or whatever it is, you know, and